Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 6 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Milwaukee Bucks and Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers and Milwaukee Bucks are set for an intense rematch after their nail-biting battle in Milwaukee, where the Cavaliers edged out a win. This time, Cleveland has the home court advantage, and with their roaring crowd behind them, they're aiming to keep their unbeaten streak alive and solidify their reputation as a serious contender in the East. Cleveland's hot start to the season isn't a fluke. They've earned every victory by sticking to disciplined, gritty play, showcasing one of the NBA's top offenses while locking down defensively. Averaging a hefty 123.1 points per game, the Cavaliers boast the second-best offense in the league, and they're lethal from beyond the arc, with a staggering 40.6% three-point shooting accuracy, leading the NBA. Their shot selection and focus on efficient scoring, paired with a defense that ranks among the top, make them one of the most balanced teams out there right now. What really sets Cleveland apart is their cool under pressure. In their recent win against the Bucks, Donovan Mitchell's clutch bucket in the final moments sealed the deal, highlighting the team's maturity and poise in tight games, an improvement from last season's ups and downs. Defensively, they're ranked 8th, and they've shown a real commitment to shutting down opponents' opportunities, making them a tougher matchup all around. On the flip side, Milwaukee is facing early season turbulence, struggling with a 1-5 record. Expectations were sky high with the superstar duo of Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard leading the charge, but chemistry and depth issues have raised concerns. The Bucks rank 21st offensively and 24th defensively, alarming numbers for a team eyeing a championship. It's been rough since their opening win, as Milwaukee's supporting cast has struggled to provide scoring relief, leaving Giannis and Lillard to shoulder the load. There's talk of tension between Giannis and Lillard, which could be impacting their flow on the court. Without Chris Middleton, who provides veteran stability, the Bucks look shaky in crucial moments. Their over-reliance on the star duo is evident. While Giannis and Lillard put up monster numbers, the rest of the squad has yet to find its rhythm, making Milwaukee's offense feel top-heavy. In their last game, even with 34 points from Giannis and 41 from Lillard, the supporting players were virtually absent, leading to another tough loss. For Cleveland to keep rolling, they need to press on Milwaukee's lack of depth and capitalize when Giannis is on the bench. Controlling the boards will be key, as limiting second-chance opportunities could spell trouble for Milwaukee. Offensively, the Cavs must keep their shooting efficiency up to stretch Milwaukee's defense, creating space for Mitchell and Darius Garland to work their magic. From Milwaukee's side, head coach Doc Rivers needs his bench to step up. Leaning solely on Giannis and Lillard just isn't sustainable for a team looking to break their skid. Rivers might shift rotations to get more out of players like Malik Beasley and Bobby Portis, while defensively, they'll have to tighten up around the perimeter to contain Cleveland's deadly three-point shooters. Look for Rivers to prioritize aggressive closeouts to prevent easy outside looks for the Cavs. The Cavaliers have momentum and the stats in their favor, but Milwaukee's talent and desperation can't be overlooked. I expect the Bucks, motivated to avoid another loss, and with some tweaks to their approach, to keep this game close. Taking Milwaukee to cover the 7.5-point spread seems wise here. They'll come out fighting, and I believe they'll stay within striking distance. The second prediction for today is for a game between the Boston Celtics and Atlanta Hawks. All right, let's dive into this matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks. From what I see, Boston has been a powerhouse early in the season, racking up a solid 6-1 record and looking every bit like the title contender we expected. With Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown leading the charge, this team is explosive, putting up 121.5 points per 100 possessions, top of the league in offensive efficiency. Boston's skill from beyond the arc, where they shoot an impressive 38.1%, really stretches defenses thin. But here's the thing. Sometimes when they get ahead, they ease up and let teams hang around. We've seen it happen, like in their recent close win against Detroit and a loss to Indiana. Atlanta, on the other hand, is struggling defensively. They've got no problem putting up points, with Trae Young pushing a fast-paced offense, ranking 4th in possessions per game. But they're shaky on defense, allowing 118.7 points per 100 possessions. That's left them with a poor record against the spread, sitting at just 1-6 against the spread. Their scoring power is legit, but if they can't shore up that defense, Boston's high-flying offense could make them pay. So, where do we find the edge here? Boston's shooting accuracy from deep spells is trouble for Atlanta, especially since the Hawks have a hard time containing perimeter shooters. It's likely Boston will build an early lead, but the question is whether they'll keep their foot on the gas. Historically, they've relaxed when ahead on the road, which could give the Hawks room to cover a sizable 10.5-point spread. I believe the best move is to take the over on total points. Boston's offensive firepower and Atlanta's pace set the stage for a high-scoring game. The Hawks, despite their struggles, are at home, and they've got the tools to keep up offensively. My pick, look for this one to go over the total points, and for Atlanta to cover the spread. I expect Boston to win, but don't be surprised if the Hawks make it a nail-biter in the closing minutes. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Sacramento Kings and Miami Heat. In this high-stakes early-season clash, the Miami Heat are set to host the Sacramento Kings, creating an exciting face-off between contrasting styles and game plans. Miami, a team built on its rugged defense-first mentality, has had a mixed start to the season, sitting at 3-2. While the Heat have shown glimpses of the form that took them to last year's NBA Finals, they've struggled with consistency, especially at home, where they're 1-2. Sacramento, on the other hand, thrives on its up-tempo, high-scoring offense, now looking to rebound after a tough overtime loss to Toronto that set them back to a 3-3 record. The Heat's season opener was shaky, with losses to Orlando and New York, but they found their rhythm with a convincing 118-98 win over Washington. This victory underscored their defensive strength, holding the Wizards under 100 points, a pattern they've repeated in 2 of their last 3 games. However, Miami's wins have come against teams lacking offensive firepower, like the Wizards and Pistons, so their defensive resolve will face a tougher test against Sacramento's dynamic offense. Miami's game plan will lean heavily on the leadership of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Butler, despite ongoing speculation about his future with the team, remains focused on leading the Heat, while Adebayo's versatile inside play will be crucial for controlling the boards and slowing Sacramento's attack. With Duncan Robinson and Kevin Love set to return, Miami gains added depth, with Robinson's sharpshooting and Love's experience as key assets. On the other side, the Kings, led by coach Mike Brown, are committed to a high-speed offense that favors quick transitions and perimeter shooting. Their offensive scheme is among the best in the league, though their defense still lags. In their last game, a 131-128 overtime loss to the Raptors, defensive gaps proved costly despite Domantas Sabonis's incredible triple-double performance and DeMar DeRozan's 33-point debut for the Kings. DeRozan's veteran presence is stabilizing, but Sacramento's younger core, including De'Aaron Fox, needs more defensive discipline. Facing a defense-minded Heat squad, Sacramento's high-paced offense could meet resistance. The Kings' defensive weaknesses and recent exhausting schedule, playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, pose additional challenges. Miami will look to dictate a slower, half-court pace, forcing Sacramento to adapt. While the Kings have the edge in 3-point shooting, their accuracy has dipped, and Miami's home-court defense will be ready to capitalize on those lapses. For Sacramento to stay competitive, they'll need to capitalize on fast-break chances and maintain their perimeter shooting to counter Miami's grinded-out strategy. While the Kings have the offensive firepower to light up the scoreboard, Miami's disciplined defense and home advantage give them a significant edge in this matchup. Ultimately, I believe the Heat will pull off the win here. Miami's defensive grit, backed by their home court edge and the return of key players, should prove too much for Sacramento. I expect a tighter, lower-scoring game than the Kings are used to, with Miami's ability to control the tempo leading them to a hard-earned victory. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the New York Knicks and Houston Rockets. In this showdown between the Houston Rockets and the New York Knicks, we're in for a real grind. Both squads bring a disciplined, defense-first mentality that's a rarity in today's NBA landscape, where fast-paced, offense-heavy play dominates. The Rockets under Ime Udoka and the Knicks under Tom Thibodeau are all about structured half-court strategies, so expect this game to be slow-paced and tightly contested. The Rockets come in with a 3-3 record, showing some real resilience early in the season. They bounced back from an opening loss to the Hornets by notching wins over the Mavericks and Spurs. Their recent clash with the Warriors was a nail-biter. They clawed their way back from a 30-point deficit, but couldn't quite pull off the comeback, losing 127-121. That kind of fight says a lot about their character and Udoka's influence. Leading the Rockets' charge is Jalen Green, putting up over 24 points per game, alongside promising young stars like Alperen Sengun and Jabari Smith Jr., who are proving themselves as key pieces for Houston's future. It's not all about youth, though. Veteran additions like Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks bring leadership and experience, even as they adjust to Udoka's defensive style. With one of the top 10 defensive ratings in the league, Houston has already become a tough matchup. However, they're still working out the kinks on offense, especially when the pace slows down. On the other side, the Knicks have started 3-2, looking steadier than they have in past seasons. They've won big against the Pistons, and their 2 losses came against powerhouses like the Celtics and Cavaliers. That speaks volumes about their ability to hang tough with strong teams, while also handling business against mid-tier opponents. With double-digit victories over the Heat, Pacers, and Pistons, they're establishing themselves as a team that knows how to close out games. The Knicks have also bolstered their roster with the addition of Karl Anthony Towns, who brings size and scoring flexibility. Familiar with Thibodeau's system from their days in Minnesota, Towns fits seamlessly alongside Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges. Thibodeau's starters log heavy minutes and maintain a defensive identity, with reliable contributions from the bench players, Deuce McBride and Cameron Payne, who keep up the intensity without shifting from the defensive focus. Both teams rely on controlling the game's tempo and prioritizing defense, making every possession count. Houston's success tonight will hinge on securing the boards, minimizing turnovers, and containing Brunson and Towns. But given New York's efficiency on the road, they're averaging a stellar 124.3 points per 100 possessions away from MSG. The Knicks might have the upper hand. If we're talking betting angles, the under on the total points set at 219.5 seems like a solid choice. With both teams focused on methodical, half-court execution, it's unlikely we'll see a high-scoring shootout. My call? I'm banking on a low-scoring affair and see the total points coming in under 219.5. In closing, expect a battle where defense rules. The Knicks may have the edge in experience and efficiency, but the Rockets' grit and youth make them a wild card, especially at home. While New York is further along in their development, Houston has shown they're no easy opponent. This game's likely to be a tight one, with every defensive stop and rebound playing a crucial role.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The fifth prediction for today is for a game between the Orlando Magic and Oklahoma City Thunder. As we head into tonight's showdown between the Orlando Magic and the Oklahoma City Thunder, the stage is set for a clash of contrasting fortunes. The Thunder are riding high with an unbeaten streak and the league's stingiest defense, while the Magic are struggling to find rhythm amid injuries and offensive inconsistency. Let's break down how this matchup could unfold. Orlando kicked off the season with promise, largely built around Paolo Banchero's dynamic play, as he averaged an impressive 29 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 5.6 assists. But with Banchero now sidelined indefinitely, their offense has taken a hit. In their last game against Cleveland, they managed only 44 points in the first half, eventually losing 120-109. Without Banchero, maintaining their season average of 111.7 points is looking increasingly tough. Offensive efficiency has been an issue for the Magic. They're shooting just 44.9% from the field, hitting 34.4% from three, and connecting on 73.3% of free throws. Ranked 22nd in offensive rebounding and 14th in turnovers, Orlando's offensive structure seems shaky without its main scorer. Defensively, however, they've held up, ranking 7th in defensive rating and 9th in points allowed per game. The Magic are strong on the boards, with the third best defensive rebounding rate. But frequent fouling has been an issue. They're letting opponents get to the line at one of the highest rates in the league. Meanwhile, the Thunder are in top form, currently one of only 2 undefeated teams left. Their defense is a nightmare for opponents, ranking first in defensive rating and holding teams to just 97.5 points per game. OKC's defensive success has stemmed from stifling opponents' shots, particularly near the rim and beyond the arc. This elite defense has allowed them to secure double-digit wins, despite some challenging matchups. The Thunder's offense is no slouch either, averaging 115.2 points per game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been crucial, putting up 26.5 points and 6.5 assists per game. Oklahoma City is careful with the ball, ranking 3rd in the lowest turnover rate, a factor that limits opponents' fast breaks. However, their offense has room for growth, particularly in drawing fouls and from beyond the arc, where they sit 21st in three-point shooting. Rebounding has been OKC's Achilles heel, as they rank 19th in defensive rebounding rate. Despite this, their grit on the perimeter and ability to control the pace have allowed them to outmatch opponents in other areas. In their latest win, the Thunder defeated the Clippers 105-92, covering the 5.5-point spread easily and extending their unbeaten streak. For bettors, the Thunder have been a safe bet, going 5-1 against the spread this season. With their elite defense, they've consistently shown they can win by margins that satisfy betting lines, meeting expectations game after game. Tonight, with Orlando missing Banchero and struggling to get points on the board, OKC looks set to extend their streak. The Magic's weakened offense will have a hard time breaking down the Thunder's disciplined defense, especially on a back-to-back night. With OKC favored by 12 points, I believe they'll not only win but likely cover that spread as well. I expect the Thunder to pull away in the second half, securing a comfortable double-digit victory. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The 6th prediction for today is for a game between the Indiana Pacers and Dallas Mavericks. I'm looking forward to this East meets West showdown as the Indiana Pacers hit the road to take on the Dallas Mavericks. This matchup has all the makings of a high-octane battle, with Indiana trying to rediscover their footing and Dallas aiming to protect their home court. Both teams have shown flashes of brilliance mixed with some puzzling inconsistencies, and tonight's game is poised to reveal which squad can handle the pressure. The Pacers, with their up-tempo style, have been a bit of a roller coaster lately. One night, they're taking down strong teams like the Celtics. The next, they're falling short against teams they should handle, like the Pelicans. Their blistering pace has them averaging around 100 possessions per game, but that speed comes at a cost. Defensively, Indiana's been shaky, allowing opponents to rack up 117.1 points per 100 possessions. If they can't tighten up that defense, Dallas might just run away with it, especially if the Mavs take advantage of transition plays and hit open looks from deep. Dallas has its own set of challenges. They're dealing with rebounding issues, allowing opponents to snag an average of 59.2 boards per game. However, with Indiana also struggling on the glass, this could end up being a back-and-forth shootout rather than a battle of the boards. The Mavericks come into this game with a solid 3-1 home record, bolstered by some extra rest, while Indiana might feel the effects of a taxing recent schedule. I believe this rest could give Dallas an edge, especially in the second half. On the offensive end, Indiana's scoring has been impressive, putting up 122 points on average in their last 3 games. But they've been giving up just as much, if not more, which suggests we're in for a high-scoring affair. Historically, games between these two in Dallas have often gone over the total, and with the line set at 235.5, I'm inclined to lean that way again. Indiana's fast pace combined with Dallas's defense that has had some rough patches points to another shootout. Considering Dallas's tendency to play a bit slower, they may need to pick up the pace tonight to keep up with the Pacers' quick transition game. Dallas has struggled against high-scoring teams, and with Indiana's playmaking ranked 3rd in the league, the Pacers may find some favorable looks. Dallas's defense might be forced to stretch, creating opportunities for Indiana's shooters. In terms of the betting angle, I'm backing the total points to go over 235.5. With both teams showcasing offensive strengths and defensive lapses, it feels like a strong play. For the spread, Indiana has historically held its ground in Dallas, covering in 4 of their last 5 matchups. Given their recent scoring surge and ball movement, I like Indiana to cover here, especially if they can get into a groove early. Ultimately, I believe this game will be a thrilling, high-scoring contest with both teams eager to prove something. The Mavericks have the rest advantage, but Indiana's relentless pace could keep them competitive until the end. My prediction? The total points will surpass 235.5, and Indiana will cover the spread, making this a game to watch for both excitement and betting value.